I'm your host, SkibidiCoffee, and this is going to be a new series on my channel where I interview people on Vidlii about stuff. The first guest is gutetama2. Welcome, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. I had a long day of biking for hours all the way along a canal trail, so I'm
Yeah,
pretty tired, but I'm excited for this. It's an interesting idea, and I like to be a
yeah.
part of it.
Anyway, first question I'm going to ask is, how did you first hear about Vidlii?
So the way I first heard about Vidlii was probably one that's not very conventional. So have you heard of the man Yuri Kuznetsov or Kuz
I'm
before?
sorry, what?
Have you heard of the man Yuri
I,
Kuznetsov, also known as Kuz? Can you hear me?
oh yeah, the
Yeah.
co-owner of Vidlii a long
Yeah,
time
yeah,
ago?
I'm not sure if he is anymore, but so he's pretty well known throughout a lot of circles, and one of them is like the soy jack stuff, right? So I was watching a doc
Oh,
because I was interested in that kind of stuff. I was interested. It's kind of the soy stuff, whatever. But I was watching a little documentary about him, and it mentioned that he owned a bunch of sites. One of the sites mentioned was Vidlii, so I was like, that sounds like an interesting site. I'm gonna check it out. And in like maybe late 2024, maybe in December, probably December 2024, I saw the site and browse around it. Thought it was interesting. This was after, I don't know when you joined, but this was after the era with all the gore and Nazi stuff and everything. So it was a little bit
yeah.
more cleaner, definitely more hospitable. But I started making videos in January. I first started like uploading stuff. Like I uploaded a music video and that was from YouTube, and then I eventually started making my own videos, commentary and stuff.
Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting how you knew Kuz without knowing Vidlii before. Like, I
Yeah,
feel like most people, when they first hear about Vidlii, then hear about Kuz.
yeah, yeah. Well, the thing for me was that I first heard about like the Shardy, like Soyjack.party and Soyjack stuff, and then I learned about Coos through that, and then because I was researching Coos, I ended up getting to this. And I like it. It's a nice community.
Oh,
It's nice and small.
interesting.
Mm.
What exactly even is Sojack Party?
So it's a relative, not too old website. It started, so like Wojacks, right, that are used for memes.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
soy jacks are like a variant of that. They're often like go hand in hand, and it would be hard to talk about the whole culture because for an internet meme, it's surprisingly complicated. But Soy Jack Party is like an image board, sort of like 4chan, but mainly revolving around soy jacks and like people posting their images with them about various topics and memes and stuff. So that's mainly what it is. If you want more info on it, I suggest whoever's watching just look it up.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the second question I wrote on my thing.
Oh, okay.
Why did you decide to use Vidlii?
Um, I'd say, well, I always had, all kids have fantasies about, oh, I want to become a YouTuber, but I thought, I might as well to put my hand in content creation, and I felt that YouTube would be a bad choice simply because I had made multiple accounts in there before and posted some videos, but they didn't do well at all just by the nature of YouTube being a gigantic platform. But Vidlii
Yeah,
was much smaller, and you could get views and comments easier, like right off the bat, if you started making relatively, moderate
yeah,
quality videos. So, and that was the same for you, right?
yeah, I understand all of this.
Yeah. All right, I'm back. What was the next question?
Uh, Next question is, what are some problems with Vidlii you would like to see changed?
Huh. You know, one thing that I don't have any gripes exactly right now. Uh, I think I've had a pretty smooth experience on it, but I do know that whatchamacallit, Lol what made a post about how some people had gotten unnecessarily banned, and I think that I'm afraid with like the new moderation change with Aniki that he might start overstepping his bounds or something. And Lol what did address that, but I feel like it hasn't been fully addressed because there have been people who have been banned for like usually for like being Nazis or whatever. That maybe they haven't really been rebanned because they were violating the community guidelines, but they that happened before the change in the community guidelines where they tried to make it more, friendly to because Turkey banned Vidlii, if you probably know that, and They
Oh yeah.
they tried to make it more friendly, but I don't want them to go too much in the direction of, okay, we should censor stuff because we don't want to anger the feds. It should be still just basically less censorship.
Well, interesting.
Yeah, it's
But the
not
thing
really a
about the
problem.
banning of
Hmm.
people on Vidlii was that they just banned people with the new rules without telling them
Yeah,
beforehand. So it's just like
I don't
they
know if
should
they've
have
been.
just deleted the
Yeah.
videos but kept the channels.
Yeah, or just give them a warning saying that don't these are the new community guidelines and don't fuck up or whatever. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's not really much of a problem now, but that's always an important thing for any
Yeah.
social network, which is balancing moderation
Yeah.
and expression.
I'm trying to think of other questions. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I
Yeah, it's
didn't
okay.
write much questions on my
Yeah,
thing.
I didn't think you had
Yeah,
much
anyway.
planned. I wasn't sure.
If this series is successful, and
Hmm.
the next episode, I'll definitely add more questions to ask the next
Yeah,
person.
that's an important. That was one of the things
This
I
is
was
just
gonna
a pilot one.
mention.
It's not that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not that important.
anyway. But I'm just thinking, like, what were your thoughts on the gore area of Vidlii?
The gore era. Well, I didn't know much about it because I came like right after it. But because I have seen like I
Yeah.
know like one of the first videos I watched on Vidlii was like some I forgot like Vidlii tips and tricks or something, and it showed about how you can like hide age restrict videos so you don't have to see people's like penises and like funky town gore videos, which I think that I mean, there are I don't know if shock sites are popular anymore, but there are places for gore. Like you could put it on like I don't know, like Encyclopedia Dramatica. I don't think that Vidlii should have gore, and I mean and sexual content to it. To I mean, maybe to an extent it could be allowed,
Yeah.
but not as it used to be, or at least what I think it used to be.
I was actually in the gore area with a old account, and like, it's hard to like remember much, but like basically it was like almost everything on the site was related to like gore or Nazism in some way. Like
Yeah,
you couldn't just upload a normal video.
yeah, and I heard about that too. I
You
heard
had
about
to.
yeah, sorry. And then if it was going to be popular, it's just going to be gore, or not National Socialism or whatever. Basically,
Yeah,
right? Mm.
yeah. But like nowadays, I've been finding a lot of new channels like you and others where they
Yeah.
actually post original good content on Vidlii.
Mm.
Like before
As opposed,
that, in the gore era, you couldn't really find much good original content. It was either like gore stuff or racism or like a re-uploaded video from YouTube or
yeah.
something.
I do have re-uploaded videos on my channel, as anybody could see if they want to check out my channel. But it's not. I also try to mix it with original content too, which
Yeah.
is something I've been trying. I don't know how to edit or anything, but I try my best. What else
Oh
could there
yeah,
be?
another question I forgot to mention was uh does your family know about your Vidlii and how do they think if so?
Um. So I did tell like yeah, for the most part. My aunt is like fine with it. She thinks it's a good idea. My mom at first, when I showed her it, because she didn't know that much about it, and I said, "Oh yeah, I made this new account on this thing," and she said it wasn't that I shouldn't be on it because she said, and I'm not living with my mom right now. I'm only living with my aunt, but she said that because it was like because it was when I first got on there. It was after the gore era, but there was still like you could see like neo-Nazi stuff on the front page and stuff, and she thought that maybe that's not like a good like image for me, but I'm not like that.
Oh.
So
Eh. By the way, I'm actually shocked you're about the same age as me because
yeah, I know it's funny. I
like
was too.
I don't know why, but like I don't know, it's just like when I saw you I thought for a few seconds you were like 20 or something.
I did say on my page that it did show like age like 26 or something, but that's only because you know how like if you're a kid you're gonna
Oh.
change your make your account look age as an adult because you don't want to bypass the restrictions, right?
Yeah.
So I thought there was that,
Yeah,
but
I know.
I am 15. I'm only like a month old. You said your birthday was like what, July 9th, 2009, right? Or is it
July 2nd.
okay, July 2nd? Okay, on mine is very close to that, June 11th, 2009. So we're both 15 and gonna be 16.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mostly just like I'm actually just surprised. Like the thing is, like 16-year-olds are literally about my age. That's just
Hmm.
strange to me because like in my head I always think I'm like 10 years old or
Yeah,
something, and
I've
that like
noticed that too.
16-year-olds are like way older than me.
Hmm. I have also
But
another thing I.
now, but apparently, like now I'm the old people, not
Mm,
just being the young people looking up to the older
yeah,
teenagers.
I think now. Uh, Another thing I've noticed when it comes to sort of like that is I keep thinking it's 2020. Like I'll look at YouTube videos and it says 8 years ago, and I think that should mean it was made in 2012 and not in like 2017.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, it is. Um, Anything else that you could think of?
No, this was good for a pilot episode.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
grateful to have you on this.
Thank you.
Uh, if you enjoy this podcast, like and comment and stuff and share
Mhm.
probably. I don't know. Anyway, I hope to make more episodes in the future. If you're a Vidlii user and you want to be on this podcast, you can just comment on this or DM me on Vidlii.
Mhm. It was
Goodbye.
nice. Oh, sorry. All right, bye. It was nice to have you. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, is there last words you want to say to the audience?
Um, well, the one thing I was kind of stuck on is the fact that you had when you mentioned that an idea for like a podcast that you said on a comment section. Some people were like hating on it, and I hope that people won't do that here. That's all. That's my main most fervent hope is that people actually think this is a cool idea, and just if you don't like it, then you can say so. I don't care, but just leave your feedback in the comments. That's pretty much all.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, bye. Thanks for watching,
Bye.
and thanks for being on this.
You're welcome.